Hello, Archons. Welcome to another edition of Groundbreaking Discovery here on Cull the Weak. You're listening to Brobnar89, and I am about to crack another Dark Tidings deck. Now, I'll be honest here. I got a little excited about opening decks today. I broke the seal on this one already. I just couldn't wait. You're going to need to trust me that this is a fresh deck, though. And if you don't trust me, that's very sad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. All right. Starting off with the houses here. Shadows, Sanctum, and Logos. That seems like it could be a pretty strong combination. Anything with Logos is great. Sanctum for some burst, and Shadows for hopefully we get some good control in here. Wadsworth, the Curiously Amazing. Well, that's nice. That's very, I really like that name. Very wholesome name. Good old Wadsworth. I wonder if he knows George. The Curiously Amazing. Alrighty. Let's see what we've got in Wadsworth here. Goodbye, Archon and Tide. Okay, starting with a backup plan. For each creature your opponent controls in excess of you, archive the top card of your deck. Great. Possible catch-up card. Good way to get through your deck. I like it. Ooh, Archivist. Now that works really well with large random archiving. Archivist is the 3-power cyborg creature. If you have the Archivist, archive it. If you archive the Archivist, archive it face up. While the Archivist is in your archives, instead of picking up all of your archives, you may choose to pick up any number of cards in your archives. So really strong way to make that random archiving even more powerful. I like it. Zizenzik. Wow, this deck is looking hot off the press already. 4-power, 2 armor, cyborg leader. While Zizenzik is in the center of your battle line, refill your hand to 2 additional cards during your draw card step. Awesome. Flea the Researcher, 1-power creature. It's a human scientist, elusive. After a creature is played adjacent to Flea the Researcher, draw a card. A little bit more efficiency in there for you. Nuevo Archaeologist, 4-power creature, cyborg scientist. Action, archive a card from your discard pile. Very strong. Posture and Bolt, a little bit of spot removal. That play, deal 3 damage to flank creature, 2 to the neighbor, 1 to the next neighbor. Got an Amber Pip on it. Classic card. Bilge Warden, 2-power human scientist. Play/reap the tide is high. Your opponent raises the tide. Otherwise, you raise the tide. Interesting card. Tricky to use sometimes. Final Analysis. One of my favorites from the set is an action. Play, destroy each creature. Each player draws a card for each creature they controlled that was destroyed this way. Okay, so you could definitely follow up the backup plan with Final Analysis. So you're getting, if your opponent has a really big board, you get to archive a ton of cards and then blow up their board, and you both get a bunch of cards, but you're kind of like making up for it with the backup plan. Hydrocoagulator. It's an artifact with an Amber Pip on it. It's an item. After a player raises the tide, they archive the top card of their deck. Lots of random archiving in here. It doesn't look like we have any specific archiving, so it might, well, Nuevo, but from the discard. It might be a little bit hard to get the Archivist into the archive. We'll see if we have any other options there. A second Hydrocoagulator. Wow. Lots and lots of random archiving. 3. Okay, wow. 3 Hydrocoagulators is so interesting because what happens when there's 3 on the board is anytime someone raises the tide, you take those chains and then you archive 3 cards. So it kind of like mitigates the chains. But then if you're not paying chains to archive, you're getting, extra bonus value. So is very interesting. Infomorph, 4-power creature that brings 2 draw enhancements into your deck. On to Sanctum here. Seraphic Armor. This creature gets +1 armor. Play, fully heal this creature. You'd be happy to get that onto Zizzy. Trial by Water. Action. Play, reset the tide. Until the start of your next turn, players cannot raise the tide. Okay. Interesting. This could give you the option to raise the tide, Trial by Water, raise the tide again on your next turn, and really exploit those 3 Hydrocoagulators. Badge Megas. Deploy, fight, and ready and fight with each of Badge Megas' neighbors one at a time. It's a 4-power human knight. Pretty strong. A little bit of house cheating. Get some good fights in there. Bulwark goes really nice with the Badge Megas. Is a 4-power 1 armor creature. It's a mutant knight. Assault 2. Each of Bulwark's neighbors gains Assault 2. So that really helps with the fighting. You can fight something down and not take any damage with your Badge Megas, and then because it's next to the Bulwark, and then you can use your Bulwark to take out something else small. A second Bulwark. Great. Solid bodies that like to hang out on the board. Cleansing Wave. This is a great burst card. Action. Heal 2 damage from a creature for each. Heal 1 damage from each creature. Gain 1 amber for each creature healed in this way. So yeah, definitely pairs with the Bulwarks. Get some damage on your opponents and then heal them all up. A second Cleansing Wave. Okay, hopefully we've got some sort of mass pinging damage and shadows to go with those. Hammergram, that'll help out. Play, deal 3 damage to creature and stun it. Really goes well with the Cleansing Waves. I like it. Second Hammergram, great. Heal or harm. Choose one. Fully heal a creature and gain 1, or ready and fight with a friendly creature. Pairs very nicely with Badge Megas. You can get it on the board and make use of it right away. Second one of those. Wow. Neat. Larry of the Lake. 3-power creature, human knight. While the tide is high, each friendly creature gets +2 armor. Again, pairs nicely with the Badge Megas. That's some good synergy. Get that fight in and not take any damage. Onto Shadows, starting off with a Mole. This is an upgrade with an Amber Pip. This creature gains your opponent may spend amber on this creature as if it were in their pool. So you definitely, most of the time, you want to play this on your opponent's creature and be able to take advantage of some dinos or some gatekeeper or something that's holding on to a lot of amber on their side. Scrawly Caper. I love this card. Oh, so happy this is back in this set. This is the first one I've gotten from this set. This is a 2-power Elf Thief. It's a skirmisher. Scrawly Caper enters play under your opponent's control and can be used as if it belonged to any house. At the end of your turn, destroy one of Scrawly Caper's neighbors. So your opponent gets to decide what they destroy, but every turn they're losing a creature that's next to the Caper there. That's a really strong card. Old Bruno is a 3-power elusive Elf Thief with the ability play, capture 3. A little bit of pacing there. Ooh, this is a fun card. Trickle Down Theory is an artifact. You play it, you raise the tide. It has the Omni ability, gain 1 if your opponent has 6 or more. So anytime they're trying to get up to check, you're going to be able to gain an amber. That's pretty great. Cement Shoes is got an action with an Amber Pip. Play, deal 2 damage to creature. If this damage destroys that creature, raise the tide. Strong card, also pinging. That's going to help out with Cleansing Wave. Francis the Economist is a 3-power skirmisher. He's an Elf Thief, and he has the ability fight. Each player gains 1. A lot of people hate on Francis. I quite like Francis. It may not be super effective in this deck, but you could, you could see giving your opponent an extra amber so you could get Trickle Down Theory and then hitting them with Old Bruno or something. You would need a way to keep them off, and we haven't seen a ton of stealing in this Shadows quite yet. Second Francis, this one with a draw pip on it. Hobnobber, okay, so yeah, that works quite well with Francis. Hobnobber is a 3-power Elf Thief with the action ability if your opponent has 6 or more, steal 2. So that really punishes your opponent for going up to 6, this together with the trickle-down theory. And then even if they're at 4, if you have 2 Francis on the board, you can put them up to 6, trigger trickle-down theory, and then steal 2 with Hobnobber. Kerwallop. Ooh, this is a very nice pairing with the Cleansing Wave. Kerwallop is deal 1 damage to each creature, gain 1 amber for each creature destroyed this way. So this mass pinging damage, that's going to really make for a big Cleansing Wave. We do have a lot of armor on our side, like the Larry of the Lake. So if that's out and the tide is high, we're not going to be able to get as much advantage out of this, but this will get a big burst in a lot of games. One-Eyed Willa is a 2-power creature. It's an elf thief. While the tide is high, One-Eyed Willa gains elusive and skirmish. Fight, steal 1. Strong card. Second one of those. Great to see. And a Sea Urchin rounding out the deck. Got a draw pip on it. It's a 1-power Aquan Thief with poison. And it has the ability play, capture 1 if the tide is high, steal 1 instead. Okay, so ended up with quite a bit of stealing, actually. So I would feel pretty good about giving my opponent Amber with Francis and then being able to steal it. Yeah, big burst potential with the Kerwallop and the Cleansing Waves, in addition to the Hammergrams. Hammergram's pretty great to combo with Cleansing Wave because that 3 damage is going to break through most armor, and then that creature is stunned. So you'll be able to be fine healing it back up. It's stunned. It's still going to be slowed down for a while, and you're bursting up pretty big off those 2 Cleansing Waves. You're going to be able to set up some pretty big turns off of your logos here with the Hydrocoagulators. Posturing Bolt also going to help you out with Cleansing Wave for sure. Nuevo Archaeologist also going to help you setting up some big plays, and Zizzy too. Backup Plan and Archivist could be really huge if you can make that trigger. Yeah, that could be pretty incredible. Final Analysis is the big board control in this deck. It's definitely situational. There's no Data Forge to like close out the game with it. Scrawly Caper would be under your opponent's control, so they would get a card for it. Yeah, it might be a discard in this deck, but it's good to have it there just in case you need an emergency. In case of emergencies, let's look at some Amber really quick. We've got 1. I'm not sure how to count the rest of these. 2, this will at least get you 1. 3, 4. The thing about counting Amber Pips and Dark Tidings, I'm feeling more and more, is that there's a lot of like Dark Tidings doesn't lean so heavily on Amber Pips like the other sets. It's much more about either like tricks, sort of like the Cleansing Wave to burst, or like Urian, or big boards that will do a lot of reaping. But we'll count the Amber Pips anyways. 5, 6, I guess. What, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. Yeah, this is going to be a bursty deck because like a lot of the cards in here are going to synergize really well to get you some pretty big bursts of Amber. So I think that's a bit of an undercount. Like I said, yeah, you can't count it quite like you do the other sets. Yeah, and quite a bit of efficiency, decent bit of Amber control. I wish we had a big scaling Amber control in our Sanctum here, like a Gatekeeper or something would be really nice just to slow down one more turn. I'm excited to try out the 3 Hydrocoagulators and see how that works for me. That is very interesting. But yeah, a decent bit of stealing in shadows that's going to keep your opponent low, and Trickle Down Theory is really going to punish them every time they go up to 6. So this looks like a pretty fun deck. I'm definitely excited to try out, what's this called again? Wadsworth. The Curiously Amazing. I love it. Look at that. Looks pretty cool. Alrighty. Well, I've been Brobnar89. This is another groundbreaking discovery here on Cull the Weak. Keep forging those keys, and I will see you next time.